Hello everyone, this is Waking Up with Wesley, and I'm Senior Meteorologist Wesley Williams. So for your TGIF, we are tracking some higher rain chances heading into the weekend, and then things turn drier on Sunday. So let's get started with today. First of all, it's a much nicer morning than we had yesterday morning. We had some of those downpours on Thursday, but on Friday, yeah, there are some showers out there, but they're not nearly the kind we had yesterday morning. This is that first alert radar map. You can see that there's a few spots with rain, but if we zoom in much more closely, you can see that the majority of the rain is actually over in Alabama. And these showers, a few of them, if we pause it at the current moment in time, the current moment 8:38, you can see a couple of them rolling ashore in Jackson County, maybe one quick one about to go toward portions of Biloxi. So yes, there are some possibilities for rain this morning. We do have a chance. However, the most of the rain we've seen has been off to our east. You'll notice this area basically over Mobile County, where there have been some sort of pop-up showers that have been rolling in from the Sound and from the Gulf. And if you were in Ocean Springs this morning, let's say, for example, around 6:30 in the morning, and if you were in the Ocean Springs area and you were looking off toward the sunrise, toward the east, guess what? You were actually looking directly at those rain showers that were situated on top of the Mobile County area over the Alabama line, and that's exactly what happened. So watch this picture that we got from a viewer, Richard, this morning of a beautiful Ocean Springs sunrise, and we're in Ocean Springs facing to the east. You can see all of those little rain clouds that were bubbling up just over the Alabama line on Friday morning. And this, of course, is a beautiful picture, but the science behind it too adds an extra layer of interest, since you know exactly what those clouds are doing, how far away they are from Ocean Springs. They're just over the Alabama line in Mobile County, and that's what clouds do. They start low as the evaporation happens, and then the condensation. So clouds get taller and taller the longer they're around, and the taller a cloud gets, the more usually the heavier the rain will be, and the stronger the thunderstorm will be as well. So these aren't all that tall, but you can see some higher cloud tops in a few of them there, kind of like a few mountain peaks off to the east of Ocean Springs. So let's take a look at what's happening right now on the first alert radar. As of 8:40 a.m., we are seeing this area of rain, just some little spotty pop-up showers between Biloxi, Jackson County, Mobile County on Friday morning. And we could actually continue with that 40% chance for rain. Our computer models have been indicating that we'll keep that rain chance at about 40% today before it increases tonight into Saturday. And then we got to talk about the risk of severe storms actually heading into late Friday night and Saturday morning. We're wondering if some of those storms could be strong enough to cause severe thunderstorm warnings in our local area. Either way, after the higher rain chances come to an end, then we get to some drier air heading into Sunday with lower humidity. So let's take a look at the futurecast, and we're going to pull this map full for you as we get to the details, time it out for you. So for our Friday morning, the model not too shabby, picking up on some of those spotty pop-up showers near Jackson County this morning. The chance for rain is still there later this morning, so maybe around 9, 10, 11, it still shows some spotty pop-up showers not too far from Jackson County. But there are going to be plenty of other areas, maybe near Wiggins, maybe near Poplarville, where you're catching a break. And some of you will get some of those rain-free hours as we go to the middle of the day here. It will be a warm, humid, and breezy day, so a little breezier than the last few days. And that wind coming off of the Gulf, so that just adds even more humidity, a little bit more stickiness to the air. Now tonight, this is when the chance for rain will begin to increase. At 7 p.m., it does go up to 50%. You don't see much happening. At 10 p.m., we see it at 50%, but after 10 p.m., that's when we get to those much higher chances. We'll be in the 60 to 70% range or higher. Look at this, these showers and storms developing right on top of us and moving in from the west. And looking at the coloring on some of those, you got kind of like a red core, purple core on that one cell. Another one with a white core up there near George County. So that's an indication of some intensity to these thunderstorms that could produce, you know, downpours, lightning. The potential for some strong to severe storms can't be ruled out as well. Let me give you a refresher course on thunderstorm strength. So the dictionary definition of a thunderstorm is something that can produce downpours and lightning. So even if it's just a little bitty thunderstorm or a big gigantic thunderstorm, they all can produce lightning and they all can produce heavy rain. That's your standard definition of a thunderstorm. Now, you can go above that and become a strong thunderstorm where there's more frequent lightning, some gusty winds that might not cause damage, some hail, but it's not big enough to cause damage, but it sure is pretty disruptive. You know, even small hail can be really noisy. And even some gusty winds can, you know, kind of scare you a little bit, even though they might not cause damage to your home or your property. But then you get to the bottom there, the severe category. That's the worst type of thunderstorm. That's the strongest type of thunderstorm. Those are capable of producing damage, and that's the ones that trigger, those are the ones that trigger the severe thunderstorm warnings, because they can produce tornadoes, they can produce hail big enough to cause damage, and they can produce winds of about 60 miles an hour or higher, which is strong enough to cause damage to your home, to your property. So that refresher course on thunderstorms, we could get the strong to severe storms heading into our Friday night. So let's go right back to that futurecast and skip ahead to the 10 p.m. time frame. But there you go, after 10 p.m., beginning to see those strong to severe storms firing up. And this continues into early Saturday morning. Check out 4 in the morning on Saturday. We're still seeing the map showing some places with those strong to severe storms. Is everyone seeing them at the same time? Maybe not. Maybe some of you can miss out. That's why we're not going 100% with a rain chance, because notice that we basically have an entire county. Look at Harrison County. An entire county, no rain. It doesn't mean that it will be Harrison County, but maybe one of our 6 counties, if it's not Harrison, maybe it's Stone or some other county. One of our 6 counties might not get that rain at the same time as everyone else, even though there certainly are some scattered showers and storms around, just maybe not everyone's seeing them at the same time. We can again go to the rest of Saturday morning and still see that this is the case by sunrise, where there are plenty of places seeing scattered showers and storms, but maybe someone's catching a break. Again, looking at Harrison County. And I want to remind you, modeling is not perfect. It might not be Harrison County. It could be any of them, but maybe there's a few breaks in the rain where someone manages to miss out on it. But just keep in mind that there is that potential for a number of scattered showers and storms on Saturday morning. And that timing for the severity, for the stuff that could cause damage, I'm telling you, is mainly between about midnight tonight, Friday night, and sunrise Saturday, about 6, 7, or 8 in the morning on Saturday. Now, after we get past 8 in the morning on Saturday, I think the intensity could start to decrease, and we'll just be left with some scattered showers and maybe a few rumbles of thunder. Now, we'll see what happens for the rest of Saturday. Sometimes when the atmosphere gets too overworked, it just becomes very stable. When you have all of these thunderstorms, they are really ingesting all of that instability in the atmosphere. And so there might not be any left. A thunderstorm needs instability to grow strong. And if all of these thunderstorms come in and gobble up all of that instability in the morning, there's none left for the afternoon. So that means if we get to the middle of the day, maybe all we'll just get is some scattered showers, no intense storms. And maybe you might not even get any scattered showers. Maybe there's not enough energy in the atmosphere available for even some showers to form. So we'll see. What happens on Saturday afternoon will depend, I think, a little bit at least, on the intensity of what happens on Saturday morning. So Saturday afternoon still is a tricky part of the forecast for me way back here on Friday morning. If you ask me again on Saturday morning, I'd probably have a much better idea of what Saturday afternoon will look like. But on Friday morning, it's a little bit trickier to tell what Saturday afternoon will look like, because we have to kind of see what the storms are going to do on Saturday morning first. But this computer model shows maybe a break in the activity at some point between 1 p.m. and 4 p.m. Look, if you get a break, that lets the sun come out. That heats everything up. That creates more storm energy and instability. And so that's why this model shows new thunderstorms developing between 4 p.m. and 7 p.m., taking advantage of that daytime heating. That heating helps to pop new storms. The only time we're going to finally see the end of new storms popping up will be when this blue line with the triangles, the cold front, finally hits us. And that won't happen until probably around or after 10 p.m. Saturday. So then once that cold front moves in, after that, that's when we kind of turn that rain chance switch off. And that's it. We'll have a number of days that we can enjoy drier air Sunday into early next week. These maps from the Storm Prediction Center do update several times a day, so the information I'm showing you now might change later Friday. It's important to stay tuned to the latest updates from the First Alert Weather Center as we get the latest adjustments to the information. But right now, the information I have shows us at a level 2 out of 5 risk of damaging storms, mainly tonight into Saturday morning. So it's a low probability, but it's not zero, of seeing things like damaging straight line wind gusts that could top 60 miles an hour. I think we could see some isolated reports of winds gusting over 50 or 60 miles an hour. Right now, it looks like the tornado risk could be near zero, so perhaps we could be spared from that. It does look like there is at least some risk of seeing hail the size of a quarter or larger, which could be big enough to cause damage. Right now, the probability of seeing that is very low, so it's only a 1 out of 5. Like I said, those risk levels can change when the information gets updated from the Storm Prediction Center later today. So you can probably watch our midday show on WLOX. Maybe the information is updated then. I think it actually comes out right after the midday show, so be checking back in the afternoon. We do have a 4 o'clock show, and that one definitely will have the new adjustments to our risk level if it goes up or goes down, and you'll continue to see new updates to that overnight into Saturday as well. So there's that 7-day forecast, seeing the drier air hitting us Sunday. It will be, are you ready for cooler air? Are you ready for a crisp, cool morning? It's coming. Sunday morning, we're expecting a low of 60 on the coast. And on Monday morning, it will be even cooler. We're expecting a low of 58 on the coast. So get ready for some cooler mornings for Sunday morning and Monday morning. That's just for the coast. We can pull up the 10-day forecast, which also shows the inland areas will be a few degrees cooler there, I would imagine. And yeah, there you go. So Sunday morning, we've got 56 for places that are north of I-10, like Wiggins, Socher, and Van Cleve. And then on Monday morning, we've got a 53 for places that are north of I-10 or inland. So we really are looking at a couple of cool mornings there. It doesn't last very long. We get to Tuesday and the mornings become a little less cool. And then once you get to Wednesday, Thursday, it actually will turn muggier and we'll see better rain chances. So that 10-day forecast gets you all the way through Mother's Day Sunday, which will be May 11th. So not this weekend, but next weekend. And right now, it does look like there's a 30% chance for hit or miss showers with a high temperature pretty close to 80. Of course, we'll be updating the Mother's Day Sunday forecast all next week, so be sure to stay tuned for that. But for now, we're going to take it out to the weekend. So I hope that you enjoyed the video today. And I hope that you can avoid the rain if it bothers your plans. I hope it doesn't bother your plans into Friday and Saturday. I've been Senior Meteorologist Wesley Williams. Thank you for waking up with Wesley. Have a good one.